Seeking Jesus and searching the scriptures will bring us face to face with the Word. Let's join Lee Eddy on today's search.
Greetings. It's starting to be the Christmas season, and Merry Christmas, I guess, to you all. This December 2nd. We're moving on to the end of the year, which is kind of neat. But right now, we are in the thralls, right in the mix of a very wonderful teaching. This teaching has changed our whole ministry. Everything we have done is based out of this teaching. It's the most excellent foundational fundamental thing that I could bring to somebody, and that is right out of the scripture, because we've been told how that we needed to love. We need to go out there and love people, and you need to love your spouse, you need to love your enemies, you need to love all these people. And we go, that's nice, but how does that happen? So we are right now in the middle of teaching how to love. So um it started with the scripture. Okay. John 15:13 says, greater love is no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends. It doesn't say that in the Greek. It says, greater love is no man than this, that a man lay down his soul for his friends. Soul is your mind, your will, your emotions, your personality. It's laying down your selfishness. Now, this is a major deal. If Jesus said this is greater love, this is how it works. He laid down his soul for us. If you remember, he was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he said, Father, not my will, but yours be done. He had to lay down his will. He had laid down his mind. He thought the way the Father thought. He had to lay down his emotions, because this was an emotional thing to know that he had to submit himself to crucifixion. That's pretty emotional. He knew where this was all going. That's pretty amazing. He had to lay down his soul. He knew that this was greater love. Now, this is John 15, which means this is the night he laid down his soul. He told them about this and then went to Gethsemane. Um, Absolutely amazing. Totally stunning, amazing. Man lays down his soul for his friends. Now, we went on to talk about this. I said, well, Lord, then why didn't you teach on this more and put it in a place where we can write it and read it in the Bible? He says, I did. And I said, where? And he took me directly into John chapter 10. And this really is the main crux of it after all the preliminary of what goes on here. He says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his soul on behalf of the sheep. He does it for the sheep. Okay. This is Jesus' way of life. This defines his relationship with the sheep. What is his relationship with the sheep? Well, he's the shepherd. He loves his sheep. He was there when they were born. He gives his signature sound that stirs their heart. Also found that the whistle that I did to show you that doesn't record on this, and it sounds like I'm not doing anything. Is not there. I can hear it. Yeah. But the idea is that some kind of signature sound, a whistle, a tune, a word, something that he's saying that imprints on those sheep and they know his voice. He can walk up to a herd of thousands of sheep, and his little 30 sheep are out there in the middle of there, and all he does is his signature sound, and they turn and they follow him. Now, that's only Caracol sheep. Doesn't work with Wellington sheep, the kind of furry, fluffy little cotton ball sheep that we think of in our minds. Now, these are Caracol sheep, and they're stringy, and they're kind of weird looking, long droopy ears, and they have a big old fatty tail that absorbs water and goes for a long time. I mean, they're very unique sheep. But Jesus says, I know my sheep. I know them. I know who they are, because he laid down his soul for each one of us, knows us intimately. That's an amazing thing. And that is the whole issue here. In John 10:14, Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. I know those that are mine, I am known by the ones that are mine. He knows them. We have a relationship with them. When we got born again, our relationship with Jesus is absolutely amazing. Okay? Laying down your soul produces that kind of relationship. Now, we're going to be talking about laying down our soul for different people here. Okay? This is how you can truly know them without judgment. Without judgment? You see, the problem is that we are so self-absorbed. When somebody does something against us, we block them off. We hurt against them. We put our heart against them. There's all sorts of pain and damage between us. Now, how are you going to love that person, especially when it says love your enemies? How are you going to love your wife when she has been the most greatest irritant in all the world? You're going to do that? Well, there's only one way, and that's to lay down your soul, to lay down what you think and lay down what you feel and lay down what you want. Okay. Now, that's where it gets really, really fascinating because in John 10, verse 15, it says, even as the Father knows me, I also know the Father, and I laid down my soul for the sheep. See, he's laying down your soul to the Father for the sheep. This is the massive big thing that we need to get across on this, is that you don't lay down your soul to them, to the sheep, to the person you're wanting to love. They may never change. They may always be hurtful. They may always be damaging, but you don't have to be. You can change. So you have to go and do something about laying down your soul. And you see, it's not laying down your soul for them, it's laying down your soul to the Father for them. It's not just about you doing some kind of religious thing. This is relationship with the Father. You have got to go to the Father. Now, you've got to get a grip on what you think. What do you think about that person? What do you think? You're going to have to be very honest about what you think. But once you get an idea of what you do think, then you grip that and you lay it down to the Father. It's not about what you think. And you have to stay there until you pick up from the Father what he thinks about that person. That doesn't have to be a long deal. The more I've done this, the faster it goes. It goes pretty quick. First few times it takes some real working to get down to understand what the Father does think about somebody. Well, that's what boosts your relationship with the Father. Lord, how do you see this person? Well, I'll tell you something. This is a marriage seminar in a sentence. Is men, if you can see your wife the way Jesus sees her, you'll be married for her for the rest of your life. Now, ladies, if you will lay down your soul for your husband and see him the way Jesus sees him, you'll be there forever. It's an amazing thing because you aren't hurt. You can't be damaged by them. You lay down your soul for them. Now, when I go before the Father and I talk about a person, I have to get rid of all my judgments. I have to forgive them. I have to lay them down. I have to get rid of all the stuff that's between us. That's between me and the Father about this person. That's what makes this whole thing work. No judgments, no mental, I'm holding this against them. No will, I want to do something, or no emotion. They've hurt me, they've hurt me. No, you got to take that to Jesus and get healed for that. Because when you're there in the presence of the Father, you can talk to him about all this stuff and you can get yourself healed up. When you're healed, there are no judgments. When you forgive them, there are no judgments. There's nothing between you. That way you can see them the way the Father sees them. You can think about them the way the Father thinks about them. You can want what the Father wants for them. You can feel the emotions of the Father that He has for somebody. And when you do that, you will have the greater love that Jesus talks about. Greater love is no man than this. The man laid down his soul for his friends. These are the people who are with us on the planet, people who we are in relationship with. Love your enemies. Love those that despitefully use you. Lay down your soul. You've got to have your soul in a place where Jesus can use it to minister to people. And we may just get into that because Jesus talks about laying down your soul in such wonderful ways in the Word. And we will get into each of those. This is very, very important. This is not easy. It gets easier the more you do it. The more you do it, then you understand, wow, okay, it is my love that caused me to have a break in my lust relationships with all these porn women that I had a problem with, because I had to love them. Because what you lust, you do not love, and what you love, you do not lust. They are diametrically opposed. So learning how to love them is what changed everything and broke all that lust. We've got things to go for, don't we? There's a lot about this. Boy, I hope you're getting into this. I really do hope you're getting into this. If you need help with it, give me a call. CrossTheSwordMinistries.com. We'll figure it out together.
This has been a production of Cross and Sword Ministries. Our mission is to bring freedom to people through the studying of the Word and pursuing an ever-growing relationship with Jesus. For more information, or to be part of our ministry, visit CrossandSwordMinistries.com.